Do that sometimes, right? Okay, so here we are, day 21 of the 90-day run. And so I'm so glad you guys have hopped on. If you're catching it on the replay, we miss you. Hopefully you'll be able to catch it live next week. But tonight we are going to, I have a few topics that a handful of people sent, but we're also just going to have a little bit of some open forum Q&A. So you guys start to sort of think if like there's anything you think 3 weeks in, we're 3 weeks in at this point, day 21, if there is anything that you feel like you need adjusting on, you need, maybe tweaking on. I will tell you something I did yesterday. I'll share with you guys. For one of my goals, I was not progressing as fast as I wanted to, I guess you could say. So I got just another sort of technique, and that really just sort of helped. And I'll share it with you guys sort of towards the end, so you guys can sort of see if maybe it will help you. I was doing a mentor call today and shared it with someone, and it's sort of like getting the results, like backing it out to sort of make sure, I've been talking a lot about effort equaling your goals. And so this is sort of backing it out to realize, what does that effort look like? What does that number of connections a day mean? So we are going to start out with a topic that's been on the schedule for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, you guys. And so I want to make sure that we get to this. I don't even know. There were 2 or 3 people that brought it up, but I think it's incredibly important. It's a topic that we do talk a lot about, but time management. And time management meaning job, family, thrive, kids, all the other like pulls that we always have, right? So one of the biggest things, and if you guys have, questions, or you have something you like feel like you need clarification on, y'all just pop in and chat or unmute yourself at any point. But one of the things that I will tell you, I think a lot of times calendars come really natural for certain people. And other times it doesn't. It doesn't come really natural. Calendars somewhat have come natural to me, but actually like planning it out, but actually sticking to the plan. I'm a great planner. I don't always stick to the plan. So you sort of may feel like that also. You may lay out this beautiful plan for yourself on Sunday, or, whatever day is your planning day. It's Sunday for me. And then you look down at the end of each day and you're like, oh, I didn't really get all that done. Or, I always think that I do things quicker than I actually do them. So, but I do think that when you're looking at time management and how you can make sure that you're present in all aspects of your life, is that to really block those times off. When you're with your family, a lot of us use our phones for personal use anyways, but you're not like doing your reach outs, you're not doing your follow-ups, you're not, listening in on a Zoom or a call when that's your family time. And same goes for the you're at work, you're doing, if you work, a 9 to 5, a corporate job, you're doing that when you're there. And if you have breaks, you're fitting things in where you can, but that you're giving it. And so one of the things that I really love to do is calendar block. And sometimes we get off on it. So if that is something that you have not done before, or you're not used to doing, I really would challenge you to do it, to make a date with yourself. Best practices on Sunday. I know that's what a lot of people do, is make a date with yourself on Sunday. For me, it's Sunday morning early. Usually it's quiet in the house. It's before, if I'm working out that day, so before I work out, it's before we go to church, it's before really anything happens, because I find if I don't do it first thing in the morning, then it doesn't happen, right? Or it gets pushed off, or I get rushed through it. So I really love, yes, quick question, Tanya. Go ahead.
Sorry. Trying to help Kevin put an order on for a new customer.
Uh-huh.
We finished the first one, but we didn't see the $40 rebate, and he put the free Thrive in, or free ship or whatever. Does it take a while for it? Does it have to process before the $40 shows up?
I think so. Yeah, it should show up within the like 12 to 24 hours though.
Oh, okay. But it's not instant like before.
I don't know. I had one go in today, but I haven't looked in her account to see because it was just like an hour ago. So I actually I can't tell you exactly. I can look after the Zoom and see if it's gone into her account.
Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. Tell him good job.
Yes, he is doing a great job. Thanks, Kelly.
I know. I actually just looked. He's almost at his VIP 800.
We'll be there.
It's awesome. But I do think the calendar, you guys, having a meeting with yourself on Sundays and really blocking that time out. One of the things I use, everybody uses different calendars. I used to use the Passion Planner. I use the Law of Attraction. I love this calendar. I write in pencil. And I will, I use, it is sort of crazy what the calendars sometimes look like, but it works for me. I'll use like my notes in here to take notes, and I just block off things. Completely block it off. So for example, like my non-negotiables, my kids are, waking them up in the morning. All my family stuff goes on my calendar first. And then I put my time, like my workout times. I make sure I have all of that because and that would be if you have a job that you're working, these are those non-negotiables that you have to do. Because the beautiful thing about this is that you can work this in between things. But I find that if I put something specific on my calendar that I'm going to do today, then I usually get it done. The other thing that you guys have seen me talk about is the checklist. I know I sent you some of it. Listen, I alter this thing all the time. I just altered it again today because I didn't really it's really a chore thing. If y'all didn't notice, if I sent it to you, but it was already made pretty, and I was happy with that because I don't know how to make graphics pretty. But I love it because I can just check things off along the day. So sometimes on my work blocks, I'll just have checklists, and I will go to my checklist and just attack my checklist. So family first and thrive. Yes. And you have to do what works for you, but time blocking, and find out, this is the other thing I would encourage y'all to do, is find out when your best time is for your energy level to work your business. I know for me, it's first thing in the morning. I am full of energy. Nothing, negative has come across my plate that day. I'm ready to, I'm not texting people at 5 a.m., but I can work on Facebook Messenger. I can do those sort of things. And that's when I really like to connect with people. When I was working in pharmaceuticals, it was in the evening. So if you are working during the day or you're in it may be the evening, and that may be your time slot, but figure out, attitude, right? What we talked about last night, sending those messages with a smile, talking with a smile. People can hear it. They can feel it. So really just have those priorities in order. The other thing, and I know that we mentioned this, but I will mention it again. I think the other thing to really talk about is when you are in our sort of minds, and I think we all function better when we have the mindset of working this business in production mode and sort of maintenance mode, right? And during a 90-day run, we should be in production mode. If you're in a true 90-day run, you should be in overdrive. You should be 10x in your efforts, right? And so that is one thing, having those conversations. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not, I want to do more, but I feel like I'm getting pulled. It happened. A complete example happened to me today. I was getting a lot of pressure to do an activity, total friends, not related to Thrive at all. And it was a lot of pressure to spend a certain amount of time doing a certain activity. And I finally just had to say no. I will give an hour. I want to hang out, and I will give an hour. And I didn't want to say what my goals are more important than hanging out with y'all, but that's how I feel. It doesn't mean that I don't love them. It means we'll get together on a longer time. at the end of this 90-day run. And that's just because the priorities and the goals that I have for myself and for the team and for my family, it's more important for me to be doing that. And so I'll just say that because I know that during a 90-day run, it can come up and you can feel like sort of pulled and feel guilty. I know I do. So let's see here. Your actions in the evenings. Yes. Okay. I'm reading your stuff. I love that. So see, everybody has different things. All right. So another topic that was really hot on people's list, I heard this a few times, I actually heard it yesterday from someone, is how to turn happy thrivers into promoters. Like, what does that actual conversation sound like? And the more that you individually develop your own style, because my style isn't going to fit exactly your style, the more you have those conversations with your Thrive customers, the better that you'll get at developing your own style. But here's the thing. You have to have the conversations to even develop a style. You've got to be talking to people about it. So let's just take someone, for example, that is happy thriving, and they, you've talked to them about the referral program. It sort of goes in one ear. They're busy. They don't really have time to deal with it. They haven't really complained about the price. Maybe they've paused a few times, but for the most part, they're just paying for it and they're okay with it, right? But they really love the products. You really have to you have to make them, you have to stop and see how do they receive communication. Is it you, instead of texting them or Facebook messaging them, is it picking up the phone and having a conversation with them and explaining to them, why are you paying for this each month? Or is it saying, introducing me to 10 people. I know earlier in the 4K Thrive Bootcamp group, I was sharing with them and just saying, like, don't ask people to give you 2 referrals, right? Always ask for more, right? That's like sales 101. Like, always ask, shoot for the moon, because if you start high, then even if you get 20%, it's probably more than what you would really need, right? So anytime I'm going for referrals or I'm trying to help, shift somebody's mindset into being a promoter, I ask for 10 people. I'm like, give me a list of 10 people. Give me a list. And a lot of times people can come up with it, or they'll introduce, or they'll have those conversations. It may not be the full 10, and oftentimes it's not, but it's probably 5, maybe it's 4. But if you would ask for 2, they'd probably give you 0 or 1, right? People always underdo those things. So always shoot really high. And the other thing is, when you are having those conversations with people before they start thriving, go on and remember to lay some groundwork, right? So usually if I'm having a conversation with someone, and I'm saying, oh, well, when you love this product, when this product impacts your life, because it's going to, and so you are setting them up for when that's going to happen. So when this product is going to impact your life, here's your options. You can help 2 people experience the same feeling, and you get your product for free. Or if you love it as much as I do and you want to share it with more than that, we can talk more about starting your own free social network. However you sort of want to word it. And then they're not ready for it then, because they're like, hey, I haven't even experienced it. But you've already sort of laid that groundwork. And then also, I think really just coming out, guys, and saying almost like taking it off the table for them, saying, hey, I know that you may not be interested in, a free business that offers you income to share your story. Maybe you get to travel, maybe you earn a car, but I bet you know someone who'd be really great at this. Would you introduce me to them? And, in an exciting way. And they're like, well, wait a second. It doesn't always happen where they're like, well, what about me? But a lot of times they're like, well, that sounds kind of good. And also, the other thing is constantly sharing with them. This actually happened to me today. Hopefully you'll see some good stuff come out of this, but this happened to me today. I have a person who's been thriving for, almost a year. And I've talked to her a lot about getting it for free, all of this. She has her own business, not interested, loves the product, tells everybody about it, zero interest in anything else. And it's almost like it's a little awkward, right? Like, because we've talked about it and I've like thrown up on her because I see her a lot. But it's zero interest. Well, finally, she just randomly, because I talk about it all the time with her. She said, all right, now tell me, she goes, I talk about Thrive all the time to people. Why am I not getting anyone to thrive with me? And I'm like, she's never asked for help. I never knew this was going on. But in her mind, she's doing it. And it's my fault because I never said to her, do you want to earn income doing this? And I said that to her today. I said, what are your goals? Do you want to earn income? She's like, well, I mean, any extra income would be great. That's totally my fault. Like, shame on me for not being more assertive in that situation. I'm telling her all the benefits, but I never asked her if she wanted to be a part. It was a huge eye opener. It happened to me this morning. And so the thing is you have to ask. You have to put it out there, and you have to say, hey, if they say no, gosh, I would never do that, or no, I'm not interested, say, hey, well, when and if you are one day, I want you to know the door is always open. I am always here. But that is something that a lot of us are uncomfortable with. But why? We shouldn't be. I know I am a lot. So I have to really be very mindful of it. So any questions, or does anybody have anything to add? Because some of you probably are really, really great at that. Go ahead. You just unmute yourself.
I feel like when you get a couple, that's how it happened for myself and for Keisha when she came on, because Tally told me, okay, I said, I want to try this product. I need all the benefits. Don't talk to me about selling. I don't need the skinny on that. I'm not interested in selling anything. I just want the benefits. So, and I said, I want my husband to do it with me because I don't want to be thinking it's something it's not. So Tally signed Calvin and I up, and we were on it just a few days, and I said, okay, we need to stay on this. So I'm seeing rumors of it being free. What do I have to do? So she said, you need to get 2 customers for you and 2 customers for Calvin, and I'll help you. And I said, okay, great. And so we did that it went really quick. And in trying to get 4, we had to get, 12 or 15 people on the phone. Well, some of those people were watching then the posts of just how we were feeling. Mm-hmm. And some of them came back and they wanted to check it out. So when I called Tally and said, listen, we're going to have more than 4, so do Calvin and I get more points, or do we get, our Plus Line products free, or what do we get for getting more people? And they said, well, you need to become a promoter. And then I was like, what does that look like? So the same thing happened for Keisha, because she has 4 Thrivers in her home. So I just feel like when I'm proposing to one customer, I always want the husband to be her first customer, her first referral, and order on him. And then I feel like that starts the cycle of them getting more than just 2 referrals, and then they want a little bit more piece of the action. Mm-hmm. And then 10 days after ordering our product and using it, Calvin and I became a promoter. So I just think when you get a dual, a husband and wife, or 2 roommates, or whatever, you have better chances of them seeing the picture of promoting too.
Yes, I totally agree with you. It's great advice. And also, y'all, knowing their currency, like knowing what motivates them. For some people, it's going to be that bonus, that VIP 800 bonus. For some people, it's going to be, a team, a supportive, a place where they feel valued and they feel like people support their dreams and their goals, and, a tribe of people who care about them. For some people, it's going to be a car. For some people, it's going to be, vacations. So knowing what their currency is. And I do think that you have to speak the language of their currency, not what motivates us, right? So I definitely think that, knowing that and getting as many people on board as possible. But I don't think you can start too early. And don't ever assume, y'all. Like, that is one of the biggest things, is don't assume someone does not want this. Let them decide that. It's not for us to decide. It's for them to decide. And so just not making those assumptions, because I talk about that a lot with my story with Amber. Like, I'm so glad she didn't assume. She didn't assume that I wouldn't be interested. And I mean, she sold me on the travel. I mean, that was really, truly, I loved the product, but it was the ability that I could potentially go on vacations, but it was more to make money to pay for my own vacations. And she knew, and she listened to me when I talked about a specific trip that I was saving money for. And I remember asking, could I make enough to pay for that? Because it was a $6,000 vacation. And that was something that we just couldn't go on like that. And so she listened. And so I think knowing what people's currency is a really great way. But the biggest thing was just having the conversation, just having it out there. So anybody have anything else to add to that?
Kelly, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Because we have all these groups now all of a sudden. When I started 2 years ago, we didn't have that. And I feel positive that the way my speed propelled so quickly was because Tally and Lauren gave me very little information. First it was get 2 customers for each you and Calvin. Did that, then okay, now hit the promoter button and you have 14 days. So you're going to do this in 7 days, this in 7 days. And I just needed a carrot. So I just was focusing on that. And then after that, then it was the iPad. And then it was like, okay, are you ready to come out of the closet now that you're selling this like full time?
Yeah.
And then they dangled the auto bonus and went straight for the auto bonus. And now I feel like I'm getting the cart before the horse. I'm like introducing them to all these groups and they're getting bogged down and I need to stay in the VIP.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Like I personally, I wouldn't introduce anyone new when they're in their VIP specifically. I mean, Giuliani can tell you he's just within his first 2 months of promoting, and I didn't stick him in any darn groups in the beginning. I didn't want him talking to anybody but me. I mean, as far as where he got his guidance from, because I knew that he had a question. Like I wanted him to come to me. I was his support. I introduced him to Amber. So he would have, a third person, because when he was in his VIP, I was on vacation. So, but we still were connected, we still were there. So personally, I do ask people, like I would say to them, get them through their VIP. And I usually say, hey, do you get overwhelmed easy? Or are you the person who wants to know all the knowledge? For me, put me in every darn group. Like I can manage it. I may not pay attention to them all, but like I want to know it all, right? I want to have all the resources available, whether I use them or not. But that stresses a lot of people out. And so I think you have to put it back on them and ask them and just say, if a group is too much, leave it. Really, truly, the only groups you should be in are United We Thrive. Okay. If you are a brand promoter, we just started Thrive Bootcamp, but once you hit 4K, you're out of there. No offense, but it's all about the brand promoters because that's helping everyone else's team. And if you have a customer group, that I know my team, we use Thrive in Life. That's our customer group. And then Thriving to Freedom, but a lot of people don't even use Thriving to Freedom. Thriving to Freedom is our potential brand promoter. And that's not really utilized as much as we should, just because there is a lot of groups, right? If you're in Elisa's, if you're in Maria's, if you're in Sheila's, I mean, I wouldn't be in those. It's all redundant information. So, and I wouldn't put them in, if you have a team chat group, we have a team chat group, and I know a lot of, like for example, Jessica Stevens, she has her own chat group, and a lot of the people that are in her chat group are not in like my big team chat group. And that it works like that with a lot of people. It just depends on how active that person who's leading that group is. If they're not overly active, then I want my people in the group that's active, that's getting the information quick, right? But protect those new people, because I hear you, girl. It can be very, very overwhelming. Just learning it all. I mean, even if they're working one-on-one with you. So my personal opinion is just to protect them. And then once they get through that 2 weeks, that 30 days, then you can sort of open their eyes up to stuff. Does that help? Perfect. Okay. Anybody else have anything? The last topic that we had, well, there were two, but one of them's pretty quick. wording and scripts. And the person who sent that in, I don't even see them on here. So do you guys want me to touch on like scripts, like using scripts, not using scripts, and how to like, this specific topic was about how we get hung up on words. Like we don't know what to say to people. You want me to talk on that or no? Just y'all Zoom. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, one of the things that I will do to, and a lot of you probably have like your tricks that you will work on. So like, for example, non-negotiables for me are memories. All right. I look on my memories page, and if you don't know where that is, you can check on your Facebook, and here, like if you press the three little lines on the bottom right, it's a little thing that says memories. The more you press it, the higher it goes. But it'll have your memories for your entire day, right? Like all the memories on Facebook that happened August the 9th, right? And so you look through them. Now, you guys, I will look through them, and I will look at a memory, and I'm like, oh, and I will probably send it to someone. I will look down in the comments, and I will be like, well, who was commenting? Who was all out on my page last year at this time? Because sometimes you don't think about people. But the one specific thing that I always do is look down here at the very, very, very bottom, and where it says friend versaries, right? Like I don't have that many today, 5. So what I will do is I will click on that person's name, and I see who they are. And then I'm like, do I know them? Do I see them? Do I have a relationship with them? Or are we just social media friends? That's like the first deterrent. And I know this person, but let me pick somebody who I don't. Okay, I don't have a clue who this person is. I see that they live here. So maybe I've met them and I don't know. I see we have 13 mutual friends in common. So I will actually go and look and see who the 13 friends are. And oftentimes I can figure out maybe how I got connected with them based on those friendships. If it's all people that I don't really know, then I know I don't really know this person, right? That we've just connected through a group or somewhere online. And I will go then and I'll look in messages and say like, have we talked before? And I'll sort of look back, and a lot of times we've never spoken. I've never said hello. They've never said hello. I will look on their actual Facebook page and see what we have in common. Like, why did we become friends? We just didn't randomly become friends. I friend requested them, or they friend requested me because we had something in common. Whether it was where we lived, whether it was mutual friends, whether it was, an activity. And that is what I say. I will ask them a question about a recent post. Maybe they've gone to a restaurant that I want to eat at. Maybe they've traveled somewhere. Like today I was chatting with a girl, and she used to live in Charleston. I thought she still lived there. Well, lo and behold, she's moved to Charlotte now. We just started carrying on a conversation. I'm not really sure how we got connected. And then another one was a girl who went to the Bahamas before the hurricane. And so we started chatting about her trip, and like, wow, she was blown away that the place that they stayed at was demolished. And we just started having a conversation, but all of these conversations were created, and all we're doing is building relationships. I have not talked to them about Thrive. I haven't gone down that spot, but it's building a relationship with people, letting them know that I'm interested in what is going on with them, because I took that extra 20 seconds to go on and learn something about them. So that is what I say. I am not a believer in scripts, y'all. I will say I did use scripts a lot in the beginning, because that's sort of what we were taught. It was copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and it may happen like 2 or 3 times a year, and it would be if we had a promo that I would ever copy paste anything. I get it. I get why people do it, because it's a time thing, but people know when you do that. And so I think that it's better to reach out to 10 quality interactions than 20 copy paste. The scripts that are on We Thrive Vault, WeThriveVault.com is a great resource if y'all aren't utilizing that. There are scripts there. Take those scripts, y'all, and utilize them, but mold them to yourself. And once you mold them, take them in your notes section of your phone. Like I have just tons of things in here. lots of different things that I've said to people, like birthday stuff. I mean, all different sorts of things. Go in there and create your own script, and then just tweak it when you're sending out like birthday messages and stuff like that. So I'm not a huge believer in scripts. I think it can work in certain avenues when you're doing a promo, but I think the best wording is to just say something that you relate. Always think about, how do you relate with that person? And the reality is if you send 3 or 4 messages, like I will look back. I mean, I unfriend people every day that are not communicating. I usually try to, make a few new friends and unfriend a few new friends. Because the reality is if I've reached out to them, and tried to have a conversation with them 3 or 4 times, and like they've checked their message and they're not, and they don't really want to interact with me, and that's okay. Like my feelings aren't hurt. We just I just move on. There's not a real reason for us to continue. Like there's other people that will want to connect. So, yes, they need to feel like you're genuinely interested. You tailor everything. Yes, you tailor everything, but I wonder why I'm not hitting a nerve. Maybe you're not direct enough. What do you mean hitting a nerve? Like getting people to talk about the product, Lacey? We can't hear you.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, I just, like, when I send out messages, a lot of times I don't directly just go out and say, hey, look, I've got something that could help you with this, or I noticed this about you. I try to kind of bring it up more organically, and it's hard to bring things up organically, I guess, online maybe. I don't know. So maybe I just need to do the voice text and things like that more. I don't know. I don't know how to get over that hump, I guess. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. And it is. I mean, it definitely is. I think if you view it that sometimes I think it can be, but usually if you ask certain questions, like what do they do for a living? Like today I asked a girl what she was doing now for work, and she's like, I don't work. And I'm like, well, I haven't said anything back to her yet, but my next response is going, well, what are you doing with your time? I think she has a young child, but I'm going to start leading into that. Oh my gosh, you should do what I'm doing. You could make money by staying home with your baby. I try to bring in like, what are they doing for a living, or talking about like if they have kids that connects with me because maybe they're tired. And try to like weave it in from that aspect. And if you don't feel like you can weave it in, a lot of times what I will say, if we've talked for a little while, like if I connected with this person a year ago or 6 months ago, or we've talked for a while, a lot of times I will just say, like, if I don't have anything else, any other way to bring it up, I will just say, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that I have never shared with you this product, or whatever specifically. If I'm doing skincare or I'm saying Thrive, I've never talked to you about the Thrive experience. Like, I am so sorry. I get so many people message me, and you could just say, like, go in it about that way and just say, hey, if you're ever feeling like you're tired, you're exhausted, you want to sleep better, we have this awesome new product out. I would love to help you. Like, no pressure, but I would love to be the person who helped you if you're ever interested in experiencing something. And it's so like you're like dangling a carrot, but you're really not putting the pressure on, because I'm not. I've had to be in pharmaceuticals. It was very, very high pressure. It was hard closing. We were really pushed and taught that way. And I didn't like it. It doesn't feel natural to me. I feel like people just tell you yes to just get you out of their face. Or they don't want to talk to you again. And I feel like there's a little respect. So my personal style for closing is making them want it. And then they think about it, they want it, and then they come back. So it's almost like saying, hey, if you ever feel like in the afternoon when your kids get home from school that you are worn out, or you just don't know how you're going to get dinner and make all these ball practices work, or you feel like you're juggling a gazillion glass balls and some of them are starting to break, like, this product really helped me. And look, I know all mamas need it, like something to sort of correlate with them. Try that out and see if that works, Lacey. Yep. Okay. Knowing that what they do for a living, yes, in their budget. That's huge. All right, you guys, what questions do y'all have? Oh, yeah, really quick, the promos. Does anybody have questions about the promos? This new one that came out, besides Tanya, I know the one that we did not get answered for you. So I know it can be a little confusing, and I can't tell you I have the best way to handle it at the moment, but what I ended up doing today for new customers, giving them an option, explaining both promos, like you're going to get $25 because you have a free account, and you can use that $25 today, or you can pay the $150 or more, get free shipping, and then get $40, and then you'd have $65 in credits to use within the next 2 weeks. I explained it. I thought I explained it well. They were like, that's cool. I'm just going to use the $25 today. I don't really care about the $40 or the free shipping. And I was like, all right. But then they never even used the dang credits. They just paid full price. So I was like, whatever. This person obviously doesn't care too much, but I'm glad I wrote my credits. But so I think just giving them options and trying to explain it to them. It is a tad confusing though, but I think we're just going to have to maneuver. It's only 4 more days. So it's a great deal though. What I would also do is I would go through all those free accounts who have never upgraded to customer, and I would let them know, this is going on, because they do get that. They don't get that $25 in credit. That's only for your new people. All right, you guys tell me any questions, anywhere you guys feel like you're stuck in this 90 days, anything that you want. Why did that warm your heart? That's what my hustle has been contacted is on order. Yes. That warmed your heart because my person didn't, but they messed up. Tell me, Christina, why they didn't use the credits? I know. I was like, why didn't you use the darn credits? I was like, well, I guess I don't really know this lady. I just met her on the tennis court a few days ago, but I guess she's not worried about the price tag, which, gosh, I wish I had more of those. Those are like the perfect customer, right? So the one thing I was going to share with y'all that I said at the beginning, with the goal, like tweaking the goal. Yes, the foggy brain. Yes, I know. That's actually what she said, Lacey. She was like, gosh, with all this ordering, because she was like paying full price, the $240 for the tone package. I was like, girl, put it on auto ship, blah, blah, blah. She was like, with all this ordering mess, I hope it gives me some mental clarity. So that was funny. Yes, I was like, I hope so too. So one of the things that you may want to think about with your 90 days is, if you're like, okay, not moving as fast with your goals, is just put some additional, maybe personal incentives. Y'all, this is so basic, but I'm a visual learner. Is anybody else a visual learner? Visual, like goal person? Yes. So I just literally like where my goals are written, where I can see them with the planning board that we did. I just decided how I needed to achieve this specific goal. The one that I am working on is sponsoring a new personal 12K. And what do I need to do to get that? Is I needed to sponsor 12 new promoters, right? By the end of October. And so I figured out how many people do I need to talk to sponsor one new promoter? Average, right? Everybody's number is probably different. And I said, I probably need to have 8 to 10 direct promoter conversations to sponsor one. So if I want to sponsor 12, that means I probably need to have 100 to 120 direct conversations with people to make that goal happen. So if you're feeling sort of stuck, maybe like move your goal backwards in your mind and try to think about like, how many people is it going to take? Like if you want a double-digit PPA, how many conversations do you need to have to get one new thriver? Everybody's ratio is different, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do think it helps to like figure out, if this is what you really want, how many people do you need to talk to? So one of the other things that I just did was I just wrote out like a really like simple thing. And I was on the phone with a personal mentor call of mine the other day. and they were like, you need to get 20 new Thrivers in the month of September. And I was like, 20 new Thrivers, that's a lot. But I wrote it down, you know, and I said, okay, well, this is part of what I'm going to try to go for. So I just literally wrote it down. I have it. So it's the first thing that I see. I just have it stuck up there with my goals. So if you're feeling like a little stuck, you guys, I mean, it got me focused. Like every day I wake up and I'm like, who is going to thrive with me today? Someone's thriving with me today. And really I'm focused on just helping one person that day. But how many reach outs do I need to do to help one person? Does that help anybody? Like mindset? Let me read your comment, Bonnie. Yeah. So here's the thing, you guys, with money. It is always, I will tell you, like, I love it, but it is the same. And this is a little tough love, but money is it's always going to be the number one objection. It was the number one objection my first week promoting the brand. It's still the number one objection 4 years later. It's always going to be. There's no value to the product to these people. So we really have to remember that. We have to create the value for a product that they haven't taken yet. So yes, it is expensive, y'all. When I bought it, I was like, this is expensive. I don't want to spend this much money. I don't want to spend $200. But I did, and now I would pay a heck of a lot more for it if I had to. And here's the thing. That's right. If they want it, they'll find a way. Sell them a sample. I mean, what's wrong with selling them 7 days or 10 days worth of product? If you do not have product to sell someone, please reach out to me, you guys. Like, I generally always try to have product for myself, but also for team. Like, they can Venmo me, they can PayPal me. I will send it to them. Please don't let that be a reason. But if that cannot get them committed, then I will sell them a sample. And if they still won't buy a 7 or 10 day sample, don't waste your time. I mean, they're not ready. You know, keep sending them information, but, you know, catch them on the next round. I spoke with, I'm sure some of you guys know, yes, I know. It does make, but being confident in that objection and being like, are you kidding me? Like, it's almost like I have a chip on my shoulder when somebody says that. I'm like, you can't afford not to thrive. Like, that is my take on it. And I don't really like, it goes in one ear and out the other. I don't even really pay attention when people say that. I will acknowledge it. I mean, I was like, yeah, I mean, it costs, but so does McDonald's and so does Starbucks and so does your Red Bull and your Mountain Dew. This is just healthy. I mean, and this is going to give you your time back in your day so you can be more efficient at your life. And so that's one of the things I think, just going, but if you get down to it and you really want this person to thrive, I mean, sell them a sample. I wouldn't give it to them. I do. It's not that I don't give away samples. I think there's a time and place for giving someone a sample, but I've lost a ton of money giving samples away. So, and I still have like a ton of them out there that who knows where they're at. So, I feel like if people want it bad enough, then they will come back and they will get it. So, all right. I'm really proud of you guys. Day 21, we are wrapping up. So what is the percentage on that? I haven't done the percentage in a while. Let me do my math here. So we are 23% of the way. So we're almost a quarter of the way through our goals. So you have to figure out, like, are you where you want to be? Here's a really good place to sort of, track where if you are where you want to be, is looking at your PPA. Is a great thing to look at, but PPA, I mean, you get a PPA point for selling a mask, which is awesome. But personal volume, like not only getting customers, but retaining customers. So personal volume is probably the number one thing that I always personally look at for myself, because that means you've got people thriving, right? And you've got people thriving for free, and you're getting referrals and you're keeping customers. And, but here's the thing, whatever has happened to these 21 days, you have a whole, you have, I can't do math that fast. Is that set 69 days left? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I about said 79. 69 days left. Are you sure that's right? That's not right. It's 79. 79? Look, y'all don't know either. Hold on. I should know this. It is 69. All right, we were right. I'm tricking myself. But you have 69 days left, right? Starting tomorrow. And so think about at the end of that, how do you want to feel? Remember when we started this, how do you want to feel? How accomplished do you want to feel? What do you want to cross that finish line saying? Even if all three of your goals aren't met, achieving one, achieving two, achieving your personal goal and achieving one business goal, you guys, is a huge win. If you feel like you need to adjust your goals, maybe you were shooting too high, don't sell yourself short, but adjust your goals if you feel like they've been shot too high. Other things, I know last night on our team huddle, we were talking a lot about getting out of our comfort zone. And those of you who didn't watch the team huddle, if you go to my YouTube, it's on there. You can look team huddles, and you're more than welcome to peek in and look at those. But we're talking about getting out of our comfort zone. So do something tomorrow. You get off of here, write down what it is that you're going to do tomorrow to push yourself out of your comfort zone. All right. And so our MVP, Amber, is getting married this weekend, in case y'all were wondering why she wasn't here. I should have said that earlier. But she's getting married this weekend, and there's some weather stuff potentially happening. So she did apologize for not being on and said that she would, I don't know if she'll catch us next Monday either, but she will be back after her. They're doing Jamaica for their honeymoon. They're extending it. So we did talk about an MVP, and so for this week, and this person isn't on, but we're going to go on and announce it and just hope that they watch the replay. So y'all don't tell them. We'll see if they watch the replay. That'll be a lot of fun. They probably will. But so we chose this specific person, Ashley Cox, because she really has pushed herself out of her comfort zone. The last few weeks, she actually has probably had the best 21 days that she's ever had in the history of her business. And a lot of it is because she's sticking to her plan. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of everyone. But she specifically this past week really pushed herself out, got very uncomfortable, and has got a new team member on her team that's going for their VIP, and just really excited about what she's got going on. So hopefully she'll watch this and she'll get to see that she was recognized. And Bonnie, I think you're her accountability partner. Wait, are you? No, you're not. You're Lacey's. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I can't remember who's her accountability partner, but all right, you guys, will y'all just let us know if there's anything that you guys know you want talked about specific. Yes. Y'all let Amber and I know. We don't have anything yet on the agenda for next week. Or if you guys feel like you want to go a different direction, I mean, we want this to be, as helpful and educational and worth your time. So just let us know. Any feedback is welcome, even if it is something you don't like or you would want to change. Please know that we are always open for that. We want to make it the best that it can possibly be for each and every one of you. So y'all have a good night. And go crush day 22. Bye, guys.